Today, we're diving into a national holiday that doesn't celebrate a battle or a political leader, but an idea, and a really powerful one at that: the power of numbers. We're talking about India's National Mathematics Day, and its story is one of pure, unadulterated genius.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. Of all the things a country with over 1 billion people could celebrate, why would they choose to dedicate a day to math? Well, the answer is pretty incredible, and it all comes down to the legacy of one person.
So let's break it down. What exactly is this day? And more importantly, who is it all for?
The answer is both super simple and honestly pretty profound. Every year on December 22nd, India celebrates the birth of one of history's most brilliant mathematical minds, Srinivasa Ramanujan.
So who was this guy, Ramanujan? And I promise you, this isn't some dry, dusty history lesson. This is the incredible story of a self-taught genius whose ideas are still shaping our world a full century later.
Okay, get this. Born in 1887, Ramanujan had absolutely no formal university training in pure mathematics. None. And yet, working mostly on his own, he came up with almost 3,900 groundbreaking results. These are identities and equations so advanced they completely stunned the leading mathematicians of his time.
You know, there's this one story that just perfectly captures his intuitive genius. It involves his mentor, the famous English mathematician G.H. Hardy. Hardy was visiting Ramanujan in the hospital and, just making small talk, he mentioned that the number of his taxi, 1729, seemed like a pretty boring, uninteresting number.
Ramanujan's reply was immediate. He said, "No, it is a very interesting number." And just like that, the number 1729 was about to become one of the most famous numbers in the entire world of mathematics. No joke. And here's why. He instantly knew, off the top of his head, that it's the smallest number that can be expressed as the sum of two cubes in two different ways. I mean, just think about that for a second. To just see a number and immediately understand its secret properties, it's just extraordinary.
Okay, so that's the history, the legend. But how does this incredible legacy actually live on today? Well, the celebrations for 2025 show a really fascinating shift in how we think about math itself. The theme for 2025 is mathematics, art, and creativity. And I love this, because it's a direct shot at dismantling that math phobia so many of us grew up with. The goal is to reframe it, not as this rigid, scary subject, but as what it really is, a universal, creative language.
And this isn't just some lofty idea, right? It's happening in classrooms. Students are finding the Fibonacci sequence in flower petals, they're having competitions in mathematical art like origami. And that last point, that's the real kicker. Ramanujan's work isn't just abstract theory in a book. It's a direct ancestor to the algorithms that power signal processing and even parts of machine learning today.
And this celebration is happening all across the country. I mean, look at this. In Bihar, there's a talent search giving out laptops. Andhra Pradesh has a math park with hands-on puzzles. In Kerala, they're focusing on training teachers with modern methods. The entire country is getting involved.
So let's pull back for a second. What's the bigger picture here? Why does this one day matter so much? Because this isn't just about looking back and honoring the past. It's really about building a roadmap for the future.
It really boils down to three big goals. First, and this is huge, to ease that math anxiety by making the subject way more exciting and approachable. Second, to get students fired up about diving into pure mathematics, which is the engine that drives our digital world. And finally, to celebrate a seriously rich and powerful heritage.
And that heritage, man, it is deep. You can draw a straight line from the ancient invention of the concept of zero all the way to Ramanujan's mind-bending theories that, basically underpin so much of our modern technology.
So we're left with this final thought. By celebrating a mind like Ramanujan's and by inspiring a whole new generation to see the beauty and creativity in math, India is investing in its next wave of innovators. So if math really is the language of the universe, what incredible new stories are just waiting to be told?